My aunt laughed at my trade school plans. Now I own the HVAC company. She can't. When I was 18, my high school held a future plans assembly where students stood up and shared what they were going to do after graduation. Most kids bragged about four-year universities, some about traveling, and a few about the military. When it was my turn, I said I was enrolling in a local trade school for HVAC. The room was quiet for a second. Then a few kids snickered. That night at dinner, my aunt decided to pile on. HVAC? Really? She said, swirling her wine like she was on some reality show. So, you're going to spend your life crawling through attics fixing air conditioners? You're too smart for that. Why don't you get a real degree? My mom tried to defend me, but my aunt laughed and shook her head. He'll never make money doing that. He'll be begging for work while his friends are in real careers. I bit my tongue. I'd already spent time shadowing an HVAC tech the summer before, and I liked the work. It was technical, hands-on, and always in demand. I didn't care about sitting in lecture halls for 4 years just to graduate with debt and no guarantee of a job. Still, her words stung. My aunt had always carried herself like she was better than everyone. She had an MBA, worked at a bank, and wore her success like armor. Trade school was tough. It was long hours both in class and working side jobs to keep afloat. My friends were partying at universities while I was lugging ductwork in 90-degree heat. But I learned. I learned how to repair systems, install units, troubleshoot electrical problems, and eventually, how to deal with customers. After graduation, I got hired by a mid-sized HVAC company. The pay wasn't glamorous at first, but within a year, I was making more than most of my college friends who were still grinding through internships. I saved aggressively, worked overtime whenever I could, and built a reputation as the guy who could fix anything without cutting corners. By my mid-20s, I realized I didn't want to spend my whole life working for someone else. I started taking small side jobs on weekends, installing AC units for family friends, fixing furnaces for neighbors. Word spread. Within a year, my weekends were booked solid. I took a risk, left my job, and officially launched my own HVAC company out of my garage. It wasn't easy at first. I wore every hat: technician, accountant, customer service rep, even marketing. I printed flyers, built a basic website, and drove around with my tools in the back of a beat-up van. Slowly, the work came in. I did good jobs, kept my prices fair, and treated every customer like they mattered. By year 3, I had 3 employees, 2 trucks, and more work than we could handle. I expanded into commercial contracts, schools, and office buildings. My little garage operation became a legitimate company with a storefront, a fleet of vehicles, and a waiting list of customers. Around that time, my aunt's world shifted. The bank she worked for restructured, and she lost her job. Her safe career evaporated overnight. She tried to start her own consulting business, but it never took off. Meanwhile, my HVAC company was thriving. Summer heat waves and winter freezes meant constant calls. We weren't just surviving, we were dominating the local market. One Thanksgiving, she cornered me in the kitchen. "You're really doing well for yourself," she said, trying to sound casual. I nodded. She looked uncomfortable. I might need some work done on my house. The AC's been acting up. Maybe you could help?" I kept my face neutral, but inside, I felt the full weight of the irony. The same woman who laughed at me for choosing HVAC, who told me I'd be broke and begging for work, was now standing in front of me asking for my services. 5 years later, my company has grown to 20 employees, a warehouse, and contracts with multiple municipalities. My aunt still hasn't found stable footing. Every time I see her, she looks a little smaller, a little less sure of herself. She doesn't laugh at trade school anymore. She knows better. The kid she mocked for crawling through attics now owns the HVAC company she can't afford to compete with.